Warning. This is Brews and Bros, a laid-back podcast where we taste and rank some beers. We are not experts, and we are not beer sommeliers. We are just a couple of guys who love tasting all kinds of beer. We know what we like, and we want to share this with all of our listeners. 2 brothers, 3 beers. Let's go. We're back.
Yes.
Episode number 4.
Number 4.
I'm the Bruiser.
I'm the Don Ernesto.
And this is Brews and Bros
podcast.
For those of you that have been listening, you might hear Don Ernesto's voice today is sounding incredible.
Bruiser, I feel like a brand new man.
We got him a new microphone. Here's the thing. We've been testing out mics for a good month now, and we haven't quite been liking the sound of our voices. And
awful.
We found one style of mic, mono. So we start going and looking on all these different electronic stores, and we can't find the mic that fits into our mixer here. We need a 3.5 millimeter. You can't find it anywhere.
Auxiliary, yeah. You can't find them nowhere. Everything's USB now.
Everything's USB. So I told the Don, I'm like, listen, I'm just going to order this thing from China. I don't care how long it takes. And it was well worth it. You sound dynamite.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. Welcome to the show. I feel like a brand new, I'm more comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel like the last 3 episodes I was kind of projecting my voice a lot,
his feet
yelling because I'm like, I can't hear
his
myself.
Feet wet, whatever you want to say. But we're excited like always. We're going to be trying out some ambers today. And just like the warning said, we're not experts. We're not beer sommeliers. We know what we like. There's 5 things that we focus on. We focus on that pow factor. What does it taste like when it hits our lips? We look at the head, and we look at the color. And
Absolutely.
What else are we looking at, Don?
Smell for sure. When we taste those nice IPAs, the nice citrusy smells.
The aroma there.
Yeah, the aroma,
sure.
Everything. Taste, like I said, and the other popular. I mean, I coined this afterbite.
The afterbite, right?
Nothing too heavy, that doesn't linger in the back of your throat. That just kind of sticks there, especially when you're eating.
Yeah. So those are the things. And, like always, we're going to put up these rankings on our social media, and you guys are going to let us know if you think we're right, if you think we're way off base. That's okay by us.
And for sure, on that note, shout out to all the followers on Instagram.
Amazing.
I love the, we were talking about this earlier before we were doing this, that the community of craft beer, we follow people and they're following us back.
You've embraced us, and it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to know a few of you myself, and we continue to become involved with this community.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to just follow other people who have a passion for craft beer, and I hope this continues. And
with that being said, I think we're ready for the first beer. We got the Henderson Best Amber Ale, and this is from Henderson Brewing Company. What's the alcohol content on that, Don?
Okay, we got a 5.5% alcohol content. Henderson's is located in Toronto, Ontario, folks. So if you're ever in the area, stop by. Can is clean. Nothing crazy about it.
No, it's just
got a big Henderson's brewery on it with their logo.
It's their logo.
Blue and white.
Blue and white. It screams to me just business.
Yes.
Right? Like, we take this beer craft seriously, and that's what the beer is. That's what the can is screaming at right now for me.
Good call on that. Like, it's honestly, straight to the point. We don't need a story on here. I don't need to do a big write-up on it. Right to it.
Absolutely. So let's do it.
Crack it open.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Got that nice crack. Oh, your microphone too. We had that big crack. Got to be careful now. I'm not going to knock into the mic here. I'm going to pour it right into the microphone. We'll see what it sounds like. So hopefully you can get a little bit of a head on this. Pouring it right up to the top. Frosty, is your mug okay over there? Is it too frosty?
You know what's hilarious? It's at the halfway point. I can see it,
Mine
and the rest
too.
is frosty. This is great.
You got a better
I love
pour
the head
than I
on
do.
this. Nice ambery color, like a creamy, eh?
Wow, that's what you would expect from an amber. Actually, it's a little bit darker than I would have thought. Sometimes you have more translucent. Not as translucent, nice dark color, dark amber color to this. You got the head, which is not quite pure white.
No, it's got that creamy,
touch of beige
amber.
to it.
Beige to it, yep.
Gonna stick my nose in it. Let's give it a smell.
Nice smell.
My nose went right into.
I did that before.
I'm gonna try.
You taste a little citrusy notes in there, and that's right. Not taste, but smell, or what am I smelling there?
I don't know. Not much.
Not much, eh?
Not much, but
okay.
Again, I didn't say this right off the top, but
it smells good. Though.
I like ambers as a crushable beer. I find myself a lot of times being a little disappointed with ambers. I always find that, and I look at it and like, yeah, this is going to scream flavor. and then it touches my lips, and it's usually just, I'm not expecting a pow factor here.
It falls flat for you?
A little bit. So, but anyways, I'm going to go in for the first taste. You ready over there, Don?
Yeah, let's do it. Cheers.
Okay, we got one. I will say this though. Okay.
Wow.
That
is flavorful.
Very flavorful. Actually, I was not expecting that because the can, it doesn't say anything about being juicy. It doesn't say anything about even like flavor.
No
nothing. Notes. Doesn't even tell us. It doesn't highlight anything that's in it. Just this is an amber ale.
This is fantastic.
And they did a great job with this. I'm going to go in for another sip here, but
yep.
I'm pleasantly surprised. I'll say that. Pleasantly surprised, I have to say. It's not quite a pow factor for me, but there's some taste. There's enough that you might even do a double take. If I was going in blind, didn't look at the can, you just pour this into the glass and I'm just tasting it.
Yep.
I might be second guessing that. Hey, this is an amber. This tastes hoppier than I thought, which is awesome.
Taste was, it's great. Yeah. I really love it. Flavorful. This is, for me, this is crushable.
It's crushable. Poolside 100%. Crushable. Has enough flavor to it. How's the afterbite on that, Don?
Honestly, it's there. Not lingering though. Not lingering. It's nice.
Not lingering, and you wouldn't expect an amber to linger as some of the double IPAs sometimes do. So not bad here at all. I'm going to give it one more swig. Are you almost ready for your ranking here, Don?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, I'm going to give it another swig.
Yeah, let me just taste it one more time here.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm ready.
That's fantastic. All right.
Okay.
Yep.
On 3, 2, 1. 7.3.
Okay.
Woo-hoo! So close.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we're getting better at this, buddy.
That's it. It's just a solid all around. Actually, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say solid. You wowed me a little bit here. I said it earlier.
No pow factor, but the wow factor.
There was a little bit of a wow factor there. I love when I'm excited.
You're pleasantly surprised.
Just pleasantly surprised by the way. And Henderson.
So was I.
Did a good job.
Yep.
Did a good job. That was beer number 1. This was the Henderson Best Amber Ale from Henderson Brewing Co. We'll be back in a few with our second beer. We're back. Woohoo! So
Henderson's. Like, honestly, that was great.
It was a great beer, and I think as a result of that beer, and just to be clear, I gave it a 7.3.
7.2.
7.2 from the Don. I'm going to add one more element to what we're looking at because now this is the second time where I've been wowed. It wasn't a pow factor, but it was a wow factor because I was pleasantly surprised.
Yes, for sure. That blew me out of the water too. As soon as you taste it, it was just good beer. It was flavorful. More wow.
Like I had said, I'm sometimes disappointed by ambers, and it's funny because we were talking about the Leviathan lager that they call it a lager at Wonderland,
and that totally too.
That was a wow factor too, but kind of in
that threw you for a loop. Threw me for a loop.
It threw me for a loop. It was like, what is this an IPA? What's going on? Yeah. So, anyways, we're going to talk a little bit about wow factor too because that's I love when breweries and beers are wowing me. Anyways, here's the deal. So for this talking point, we were thinking, I don't know what to do when it comes to warm beer.
Is that even... do people serve warm beer?
It's not serving warm beer. Here's I'll set it up.
All right.
Okay. You're going to a party.
Okay.
And you're looking at wherever you're at, and you're looking and staring at the domestic stuff that's chilled in the beer fridges, and you know you're not touching those.
Yep.
And they're on the shelf. You got your craft beers, and they're warm.
Okay.
They're warm. You're going to a party. You're picking them up off the shelf. You're going to this party. They're warm. You want to drink them that night.
Right.
What are you doing? So my question is, how are you chilling a warm beer quickly? So there's a few different techniques that, I've tried in the past. I know that, Don, what do you do when you pick up from Zehrs? We already talked about it. Zehrs has nothing chilled.
Zehrs on notice, too.
So what do you do with those ones, Don?
You know what? I go right to the freezer.
Put them in, right?
Put them in. But you know what the problem? Yeah, but I'm waiting, right?
You're waiting.
When I get home,
it's like a time bomb. It's a ticking time bomb.
First of all, I probably shouldn't be stocked in my beer. But when, the odd time you don't have the beer at home, fine. I got to stop off, buy and replenish. And then, you know what? It's not in a fridge. Now I got to put it in my freezer.
No.
I got to wait 10 minutes before it's at an adequate temperature for me, because I like them cold, bro.
And it's a ticking time bomb because we've all had beers explode on us before.
For sure. Right? I've left them in there in the freezer and thinking, oh my God, I forgot.
Beautiful craft, whatever the beer was, and it's gone. So you have the frozen beer technique. Just put it right in the freezer. Still takes a little while though, right? And you have to be careful. It can't go too long.
For sure.
And, because it could explode. Another one is just the plunge, right? If you can get a whole bunch of ice, right? Get a big bowl of water, right? Put it in there. Is that somebody's go-to technique? I'm just trying to figure out what are some go-to techniques if you got some warm beer and you want to drink it. You want to drink it, pretty quickly. Now, here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
I don't know if it was Instagram or wherever I saw this, but they had said if you need to chill a beer quickly, get a paper towel. Dip it in some water so you're getting it nice and soaked and damp.
Cold water?
Cold water.
Okay.
And wrap it around the can, then put it in the freezer. And if you do that, within 15 minutes, that beer is going to be ice cold and perfect.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do here, folks.
This sounds intriguing.
That's it, right? So I have a bowl set up. I have the paper towel. Shout out to Great Lakes. We're not going to be reviewing this beer today, but this is the Octopus Wants to Fight IPA. And, I'm going to wrap this bad boy, this paper towel around this can. I'm going to walk over to my freezer. I'm going to see if it works. We're going to put 15 minutes up on the clock.
I'm going to set up a timer.
He's going to set up a timer, and we're going to let you know. Did it work? Was it an effective technique for getting this beer cold? So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go put this beer in the freezer. We'll see how it is, and we'll be back in a few. So that was the first ever science experiment on Brews and Bros, and we were just kind of saying that we both sucked at science in high school.
Biology?
Biology. I was brutal. I had to get somebody to dissect the worm for me. I didn't want to touch that thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to let you know if it worked, if that's science.
This is very, very exciting. I can't wait for this first ever science experiment.
We'll see if it works.
On the podcast, see if it works.
But we're ready for our next beer here. And so we've got an Amber Red Ale by Cameron. Ambear.
Ambear, correct?
Right?
Yes.
Ambear.
Very great way to kind of segue into that, right? You know? Like Ambear.
Ambear. And it has a grizzly bear. I believe it's a grizzly bear. It might be a black. It's a silhouette, so you don't know exactly what type of bear it is.
I can just read this for you if you want here. So it is a wild black bear.
Okay.
And it has a lot in common with our Ambear ale. Nice. Both are complex, intelligent, and incredibly unique. Okay, it's a West Coast style ale, and they have caramel malt and citrusy Cascade Mountain hops to create layers of delicious depth.
The West Coast.
Enjoy the generous hop aroma and smooth maltiness, followed by a tasty finish.
Sorry to cut you off there. That was
That's okay. Sorry.
I was a little taken aback by that West Coast that you say, because you hear about the West Coast IPAs. And,
this says West Coast style ale.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I'm curious to see what that's all about. Artwork on the can, just to go a little further. We got some mountains in the background. You got an orange. The sky is bright orange on this thing. I
guess pertaining to maybe the amber style of color that we should see, hopefully.
There you go.
Yep.
And green.
And Brew, this is the Cameron's second time we've tried these guys on the podcast.
Yeah, they're standard beer. We can get them all over the place
for sure
in this area. What's the alcohol content on this one?
We got 5% alcohol content.
And we actually have the IBUs on this thing too. What did they say as the IBUs?
IBUs.
We got
IBUs, we got it as a 30.
It's not on the can, but when I was looking at the artwork earlier, I had seen that the IBU was on the 30. So that's
and that's the International Bitterness Unit, right? So I mean, I know we said before in our previous podcast we don't like to use the word, or sommeliers don't like to use the word bitter.
Yeah,
but so 30, it's just that bitterness content in the ale.
So we're looking for just a touch. It's not quite in the middle, but a 30 is still significant. So curious to see what that's all about. Anyways, I think, are we ready to crack this?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to mention too. I mean, another award-winning beer here, guys.
Okay, all right.
All 3 golds in Ontario, Canadian, and U.S. Open beer championships.
U.S. Open too.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
All right, cracking it.
Crack it open. I almost did that.
How do you crack the
tab?
Did you break it?
No, but it slid, and I
would have been in a violation. I would have given you a penalty.
I would have been the second time. That would have been a penalty. You're
going in the box.
Wow. So I'm knocking the mic a couple of times. Sorry about that, folks. But I'm gonna pour this in.
That's it. So this glass not as frosty, Brew. I don't know what happened to the deep freeze, but maybe this frost can take it.
Interesting.
Or the glass, sorry.
Interesting. So maybe that's another talking point in another show. We're not using the correct beer mugs for these different beers. I know that you're supposed to use specific beer mugs for whatever type of beer that you're having. But wow. Looking at the color of this thing, it is even darker than the previous beer that we just had, the Henderson.
It is, Brew. I agree with you on that.
Brown.
Yeah, almost.
Are you getting a brown?
Yeah. When you look at the bottom half of the glass there, when you get closer to the end, it does look like that tinge of like a little bit lighter.
I just noticed, Don, and we don't got the light on over there. I'm not sure if you can flick the switch and we can actually hold it up, because I want to get a definite idea. Because right now, just in normal light, it's looking pretty dark brown. It's still, yes. So we're getting like a brownish color to this amber here.
A little tinge of like that dark orange though too on the bottom. If you can see
right,
that,
yeah.
I can see that a bit.
And we got that. It's not a bright white head to this again. It's another creamier beige.
But I found the Henderson's was a little bit more darker.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that too.
Smell?
I'm gonna smell it up. Put my nose in there. Okay, I'm smelling some notes.
Yes,
I'm smelling some notes with this one. I didn't
musty?
smell
like must.
I'm smelling some almost like it reminds me of a nuttier type of flavor here. So I'm not sure if they had mentioned anything about a type of nut that they put in the beer here, but definitely smelling, and it's pleasant. It's a pleasant smell for sure. Nothing on there though, eh?
No, caramel malt.
So we'll keep it going. I'm ready for my first taster. I'm actually excited. I wonder if there's going to be another wow factor.
Oh my god! If you get wowed back-to-back wows,
blind. You went to the LCBO, and we were talking earlier how we were having a little bit of a tough time finding specific styles.
And you know what? If anybody who's following us or everybody out there, like, let us know. Are you having the same issue when you go to the LCBO or any of these retail supermarket outlets that are selling craft beer?
Is it a pandemic thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's going on? Because it seems
very
like
slim pickings out there.
Much style as we our variety as we are used to. Anyways, I'm going to go back in for or not back in. I'm going to go in for my first taste.
Cheers.
Very interesting here. I'm going to say that it's a lot different of a flavor than the first one.
Very.
It's not a pow factor. It's almost a wow factor, but I'm gonna say wow. I don't want to use the word negative, but it's not what I expected. I'm gonna have to go in for a few sips of this one. You know our rule here. It's not one sip. It's one sip, two sip. If I have to drink the whole glass before I give you a proper rating of this thing, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So, and I didn't do the swish technique either. Which we talked about that earlier. If you've been drinking other things, you want to first swish it around.
Yeah, we had a little bit.
Spit it out if you can, or So I'm gonna try again.
Now, could the difference be too that the first one was labeled amber ale? This is a red ale. We're getting different.
Okay, so that's something too. That this is technically classified as
a red ale.
The other one was technically classified as a red ale,
amber ale. Yeah,
and it has an interesting flavor to it. So
it does brew very different from the first.
I'm gonna say this is borderline. Not crushable.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This might be a one and done, but not one and done as in one and dump kind of thing. Right?
No. But I agree with you. This is I could do one beer and I'd be satisfied with this one, but I probably wouldn't have another one.
What was the alcohol content in this one again?
5.
That was a 5 flat, and it's I would say though that this is not the Dawn and Ice and poolside and just pounding and crushing these.
No,
back.
But it's enjoyable. I like it. I'm going to drink it. I mean, it's beer. It's beer, man.
It's beer. Let's do another one. I think I'm ready for my rating of this one, though.
Yeah.
And this was, again, the Ambear
Red Ale from Cameron's Brewery. They're out of Oakville.
Yeah. And on 3. We ready for this one, Don?
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 6.7.
Okay.
Off by 1 again. So that was a 6.7 from me.
6.6.
6.6 from the Dawn. That was the Ambear Red Ale from Cameron's. Little different. If you're looking for a different style of flavor when it comes to an amber, check this one out. Anyways, we're going to set this one up. We're going to look at that timer because it could be pretty close to taking out that other beer, the warm beer that we put in the freezer. And we're going to let you know. I'm
kind of excited for this experiment. We got 5 minutes
that
left.
one is ready to go.
We got 5.5 minutes left for that.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Okay, we're back.
We're back.
We put 15 minutes on the clock. Just to recap, we were trying to try out the technique to see if we wrap a damp paper cloth around a warm can of beer.
Yep.
If it will get cold. Because
and pop it in the freezer,
Pop it in the freezer.
Yep.
And so, whatever I had watched and said, if you do this within 15 minutes, this beer will be ice cold.
And we set the timer up.
We set the timer.
15 minutes.
I'm going to be a little honest here, Don. When I grabbed it out of the freezer, I was expecting the damp cloth to be a little crunchy.
Okay.
Like it had frozen a little bit.
All
and
right.
it wasn't that.
I didn't feel it, so I'm going off what you said.
So okay, wait a minute. There is a little crispiness.
Okay. It's stuck to it.
Okay, it is stuck.
Okay.
I took it off. If you can bring the glasses a little bit closer, Don. I'm holding it in my hand. I'm going to let you feel this, Don, because I'm scared.
Ouch.
I'm scared.
This is already borderline, I think, lukewarm.
I'm going to apologize to Great Lakes here. This is not doing this beer justice at all.
No. And I'm a fan of this beer. I've tried this before.
Yes, it's a great beer. Yeah. We're not ranking the warning. We're not ranking this beer.
This is this is an experiment.
This is the B&B experiment. Maybe there's going to be a few experiments on this podcast.
For sure. I love it.
So I'm going to pour it in. I'm hoping at least it's not lukewarm.
Oh, you're going to get a lot of foam if it is. You're going to notice right away.
Oh, and we got Gizmo. Gizmo's barking because he knows. He's like, don't try it. You're not going to get the true flavor of this wonderful beer by the Great Lakes. But in my glass, it was a horrible pour on my part also.
That's okay.
But it's not about that. It's not about the ranking.
But even in my, you can feel it right now. In your hands.
Okay, let's.
Our hands are warm.
It's warm.
Whatever.
It's warm. Let's do it. Let's go. Okay. Not close.
No.
Not close. Now,
No, didn't
I
fail.
guess
That was a
maybe
fail
the
on that
follow-up
one.
question is, you're at that party, you did this for 15 minutes. Are you drinking it?
I can drink that. I would drink
Okay.
it. I would drink it
So
because
you made
it's boys.
You made it drinkable?
It made it drinkable.
Okay.
Yeah. So if the experiment is how quick can you get it?
Yeah.
How quick can you get it
Yes.
to get it at least to a temperature that you can enjoy it,
Yes.
right? Because you definitely don't want to drink it when it's really warm.
So I guess the
So that's-
B&B
Yeah.
first experiment, we're going to have to say that it was a fail.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't ice cold as they claimed on social media wherever I had seen it. But the paper towel technique wrapped around the can, put it in the freezer, will get it cold, but not ice cold.
Yeah.
Maybe
I wouldn't
longer
even
than
say
15
cold.
minutes?
I think longer than 50. Yeah, I think you would have to stick it in there for at least 25 minutes.
But the problem is I don't want to wait 25 minutes.
Correct.
And that's what I was trying to get at with the question earlier. I don't want to sit around and watch you guys drink your beer. All right? Maybe somebody would be nice enough and hand me a cold beer while
Sure.
I'm waiting for my beer to get
Or brew.
cold. Right?
I mean, if you're desperate to have a beer, are you going to the domestics?
That's another question for another
question.
time. Anyways,
We're getting out of hand here.
I think we're
this is
going to
great.
set up our third beer here.
Yep.
And we'll be back in a bit. We're back.
Boom.
We tried out that
No,
experiment.
gosh.
Didn't go well.
No.
It was actually
Fail.
funny. The Don was a little upset with me because I unleashed when I
Off air.
off air
Off air.
because he asked me that question. What am I doing? This is a warm beer, and all you have that's cold is the domestic piss.
I threw you
Beer.
off. You
And
didn't know what to do.
You were like,
you
just say
stopped.
it. Just say it. Okay, so I'm going to say it then, right? I'm not drinking the piss stuff. I'm not drinking. I will drink my lukewarm craft beer, which
Yeah,
is delicious,
I agree with
over
you.
an ice cold domestic beer that I can't stand.
Yes.
Any day.
Yeah.
So does that make you happy?
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's great.
All right. He wanted me to say it. So
That's fine.
I had
Hey,
to
I mean, listen. I mean, no disrespect to people who drink Labatt Blue and Canadian.
But let's be honest, Don.
Glory.
I don't think
think.
I don't think that they're still. I don't think they're listening to this podcast.
No, they aren't.
I think these are the people that are still going to the bar and saying, "Give me a beer."
Yeah.
Right, and then they don't care.
I agree.
Right? Give me a beer. Give me what's on tap,
Yeah.
and they don't care what's coming.
Yeah.
Right. So they're not listening. So,
They're
anyways,
not.
I'm excited about the third beer here.
Me too.
We got the Ladder Run Amber Lager by Thornbury Craft Company. What's the alcohol content on this thing?
So a light one here. We got 4.8.
Got a 4.8.
Okay.
We're looking at this can, and I was before I even got to get. So we got a salmon, we got the lake, we got mountains in the back. I guess we're going with the mountain theme.
Yeah,
there.
Thornbury. I
With
mean,
the-
this has got to be out in the Collingwood area. 'Cause
is-
Thornbury. Yeah, I've been to the beach.
There we go.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, I was like, what does the ladder have to do with the fish and all that? And Don's like, well, I have a story behind that one. And
Oh, I'm sorry. I
What
don't
did-
know if I'm wrong here, but Thornbury Village Brewery is okay. I mean, it's brewed in Nobleton, Ontario.
Okay. All
So
right. Okay, but tell us about that ladder. Oh, there's some literature on the can that that Don likes to read. So go for it. Don.
yeah, okay. So located in the heart of Thornbury Village, home of our craft cider and brew house, the Beaver River is host to trout and salmon. Now, the Ladder Run Amber is a tribute to the fish ladder that allows fish to river
Fish ladder.
to
That's
spawn.
the key right there.
allows fish upriver to spawn. Okay, come fall, it's exciting. They're saying for them, and I'm sure if you're an avid fisherman, to watch the jumping Chinook salmon migrate. That's
Beer
huge.
is just beer.
Yeah.
Molson Canadians not putting literature like
They're
that.
not
on. They're
doing
not
that.
getting-
What
they're
do
not
you-
I can love when I can get educated by the can.
I love
about
it. I
beer.
love reading these like the okay. Henderson's didn't need that on their
No,
can.
they didn't need it. They didn't need it. But this is a story behind it.
this
And I
is
liked
great.
it.
Yeah.
We got the IBUs on this one too, just in case people out there
Yeah,
are looking.
number IBUs are 25.
And it's right on the can there too. So we
Yeah.
were saying some beers they want to highlight that, some don't. 25. So if we're comparing this to the last beer, which was a 30, 25, we're expecting a little bit less.
Correct. Medium-bodied beer.
Medium-bodied.
They're claiming here with a smooth malt flavor and subtle hoppy notes. So let's see if we taste that.
I'm so interested in this one because I'm going to have to say the last two beers, wow factor. I was expecting just crushable. crisp amber type beers. We didn't get that so far.
No.
And so let's see if the Thornbury, and not that I really want that one from the Thornbury, but I'm just curious if they're going to give it to us.
I mean, Henderson's wowed you a bit in terms of.
No, yeah, it wowed me. Flavorful. I give it a high score, but I'm just.
I could crush. I would have crushed. I could crush a couple of Hendersons.
Anyways, let's get back to this Thornbury Ladder Run Amber Lager. Cracking it open.
I'm cracking mine.
Got a nice frosted. Ooh, knocked it into the mic again. I apologize, people.
Little cloudy in the.
We got another interesting color. I'm going to have to say all three beers, if we're talking about the color, when I'm pouring it into the glass, I was expecting more of a reddish tinge, more of a translucent. This might be the most translucent of the three.
Brew, I definitely agree with you. This is the most.
Hold it up to that light there, Don, just so we can get
the most translucent of them. Oh, for sure.
Raspberry, strawberry, light, translucent strawberry type color to it.
Absolutely.
You got the same color head as you would expect from. Actually, this one's a little bit more on the whiter side.
It is.
Creamy.
It's got a little bit of that beigey, but you know, you're right. Creamy.
And I'm going to go in for the smell. And I'm going to say definitely not an aroma that's going to jump out at you. And that's what I would expect from an amber. That's what I would expect from a lager.
I'm sensing something there, though.
Okay, so the Don's kicking up a notch with the smell.
I think
what do you got?
With the Camerons, we smelt that nutty.
Yeah.
Well, it smelled to us as nutty, right?
But
it was very prevalent there. You could smell it. This one here, a touch. There's something there. It's nice though. It's not as strong.
If you had to try to describe what you're smelling, He's saying there's something
malty, like
All right, so he's saying that there might be a little bit of. Don is saying might be a little maltiness to this.
Yeah,
I'm going to go in for my first taste.
But like they said on the can, like that smooth malty.
I'm excited. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
This one's crushable.
Oh,
smooth.
Yes.
Crisp.
So good.
Crushable. I got no wow factor for this either.
No afterbite. Afterbite is fantastic. There's nothing that's kind of, it's there. I can taste it, but it's not lingering.
This is, if you're used to lagers and you're like, you know what, I want to look good in front of my friends who drink craft beer. I'm going to go for this amber, and I'm going to hold my own because they can't say, hey, what are you drinking there? They're going to, be happy that you're drinking something other than a lager, and it has a little bit of a flavor. That this is a good transition.
This is a nice mix, Amber lager.
Into the hoppier type of beer. I'm not going to say this is very hoppy at all, but this is, if you're trying to get
those notes are there, you can taste it.
If you're trying to get there, this is a good transitional type beer, but this is a nice, crisp, flavorful beer. I'm going to go in for another sip here. Again, this is the Ladder Run Amber Lager by Thornbury Craft Co. What was the alcohol content of this one?
4.8.
This was a 4.8, so under 5, so also a good thing if you want to have 3 or 4 of these, right? You'll enjoy the taste, and you'll be okay after you've had 3 or 4.
Yeah. When you're spending poolside.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go in one more time here. I'm pretty close. Don's giving me a nod. He's like, I got this. How many more sips do you need, right? He had it after the first sip. I know, because this is a style that the Don loves. I'm going to say it right now, okay? He's nodding again. So I'm going to go again.
You're correct.
Okay, I'm ready to give this this one a score. Are you ready here?
Okay, hang on one more time.
Sit out. Is it something I said?
Okay.
All right, let's go for this. Yeah. Ready? 3, 2, 1. 7.1.
Okay.
Wow.
Man,
okay.
Listen, all three scores.
Okay.
It's great.
I thought Don was going to go higher with that one. So that was a 7.1 for me, a 7.0 from the Don. But a solid beer, crisp, clean, nice, what you would expect from an amber. I was pretty happy with that one.
I'm happy with this one, yeah. Very different from the other. Like it's amazing how you get the different colors, eh?
Different colors from all different
three,
flavors of all three.
Obviously, I mean they're 3.
Whoever tells me that beer is just beer, we just tried 3 amber colored beers.
Like
all 3 of them
totally
tasted 100% different. Take that, wine lovers out there. Anyways, we're almost done here. We're gonna be back in a bit. Don is still laughing. This is take 2 of the closing of this podcast.
Oh my
Brews
God.
and Bros. I said the wrong name. I said Bros and Brews.
Listen, when we were first talking about this podcast, we wanted to call it that, and then we found out there's.
My graphic designer made up stuff, Bros and Brews. I started splattering all over social media that there's going to be a Bros and Brews podcast dropping in Christmas at Christmas time. We had to change it. We changed it to Brews and Bros. So anyways, this is the second take. This was Brews and Bros, episode 4. We did some ambers. We were excited about all 3 of these beers, and they delivered.
They did.
They were all different beers. We had the Henderson's Best Amber Ale from the Henderson's Brewing Company.
Yep, Ambear red ale from Cameron's, which was a great design on the can, and then the Ambear, you know, the really
Ambear.
lovely, love it. I love the catchy. You're a word nerd, yeah. You love that stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
Ladder Run Amber Lager by Thornbury.
Oh, great beer.
Craft Co. all around great beers. All 3 tasted so different, and I kind of wasn't expecting that. And
yeah, because you're not Yeah, you're IPA.
I just wasn't.
You're IPA
exactly.
for IPA
Amber
for
Lager.
life.
I did this. This was all for the Don Ernesto over here. These were.
I'm telling you, Ladder Run lager. I love lagers too. I drink lager. Yeah, Ladder Run is good for me. I like that.
Regardless,
Thornbury, shout out Thornbury.
Absolutely. Regardless, we're gonna bring you some different types of beers. Always gonna bring you 3 beers on Brews and Bros. We're gonna cross the border. We're gonna get some American craft beer in the future episodes coming up.
Absolutely. You know, we talked about this at the beginning of the podcast. Like, you know, it's slim pickings out there. I don't know if there's, you know, like you said, pandemic wise,
I don't know
what are the
what it
breweries
is.
doing? Or are we doing something wrong? Or do we have to visit more breweries in order to get specific beer? I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to head stateside for one, and maybe we go to local stuff here too, right?
Tell us where to go. Tell us where to get the beer. Send us some beer.
And can I say, Brew, honestly, I'm humbled by, you know, the people that are following us right now. We're doing this because we're passionate. We love craft beer, and we want to connect with that community. I love the craft beer community. I'm following all these new people now, and I see their journey into it, and I want to be a part of that, and I want them to be a part of us.
I think what we'll start doing is we're going to tell you ahead of time what we want to do in terms of the style of beer. You guys give us your suggestions. We want to try those out because there's so many good craft breweries out there.
So much that we haven't even covered.
Not even close.
We're gonna get out there. We're gonna travel, and we're gonna you know, hit those spots and tell everybody
everything there is. Anyways, that's it. That's all for episode 4 of Brews and Bros. 2 brothers,
3 beers.
3 beers.
We're out.
We're out.